Grizzly Rage is a Canadian TV horror movie, I think, that first aired in 2007. It was directed by David DeCoteau, who is best known for such hits as Sorority Babes in the Slimeball Bowl-o-Rama and A Talking Cat, and was written by the writer of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. The plot is that our main cast of characters, Douchebag 1, Douchebag 2, Douchebag 3, and the obvious final girl, have just graduated high school, and in order to celebrate, decide to travel hundreds of miles so they can drive down a gated off road in the middle of the woods in Saskatchewan somewhere. You know, as you do. However, things take a sudden and drastic turn for the worse when they have a completely silent collision with something on the road. Like, really, is it that difficult to edit in a thud sound effect? So it turns out that what they hit was a grizzly cub, and they realize that this means trouble because its mother is probably nearby and likely won't be very happy with them. And right on cue, we hear a roar sound effect that is very poorly synced with the actors' reactions to it. They begin to panic and pile into the car, and as they drive away, we get our first glimpse of the bear. Yeah, a random close-up shot that literally could have been filmed anywhere. Just gonna get this out of the way, nearly every single shot of the bear in the entire movie is like this. Save 2 or 3 moments where a puppet appears in the corner of the screen for about a quarter of a second, often in very poor lighting, there isn't a single frame that contains both the bear and a human actor. I can understand not wanting to have a bunch of young people and a live grizzly bear on set at the same time, but there are other options. You could use a green screen or composite 2 shots on top of one another. It probably still would have looked like shit, but at the very least there'd have been some effort to make the threatening force of this horror movie feel like it's in the same universe as the characters we're following. So, back to the plot. After they drive away from the bear, the car stalls due to the damage it took during the crash earlier. Douchebag 1 deduces that they need water to cool the engine, so he and Douchebag 3 start looking around in the woods. They do this for nearly 6 minutes, which, for a movie that's only 80 minutes long, is a pretty significant amount of time. Eventually, this guy finds a swamp and decides to fill his bottle there. While he's doing this, it cuts to a barrel of toxic waste in the water. This has absolutely no bearing on the plot, and I have no idea why they show it. But more importantly, if you're at all familiar with movie tropes, right about now you're probably thinking it's about time for the grizzly bear to start killing off the main cast. In a way, this is probably the most important part of the entire movie, because that's exactly what anyone who would put on a horror movie titled Grizzly Rage is looking for. So, what are the kills like? Do I even need to say anything? It's just a brief back and forth between shots of the bear sort of just standing there, and vague blurriness with some stock blood splatter effects over it. And this is the only kill that we even see in any form. For every other kill, either the bear drags them out of frame, or the movie cuts away and they're killed off screen. So this movie can't even deliver on the bare minimum on what was promised. Even movies like Jurassic Shark at the very least actually show the thing killing someone once in a while. Yeah, it looks terrible, but at least it's something. But this movie cheaps out by electing not to show anything, and still somehow manages to make not showing anything look like absolute dogshit. Now, this is only around 20 minutes into the movie, but there's really not a whole lot else to say, because the rest of it is just more of the same. It's just the 3 remaining characters dicking around in the woods, with several minute scenes dedicated to doing incredibly menial tasks like tying a car winch to a tree, or climbing to the top of a nearby hill to see if they can get better service on their phone, and every once in a while there's a close-up shot of a bear. Also, they beat up this car a lot. If you really need to know how it ends, they lure the bear into a shack thing and lock it inside, there's a fake-out ending, a trope I'm really not a fan of even in good horror movies, and the bear easily breaks out of the shack and kills the remaining characters. And now, I am tired of talking about this movie, and I'm going for a walk. Oh shit!